Welcome to the Unmute Your Mind podcast. I am your host, Rochelle, and this episode today is about why I started Unmute Your Mind. If you've been smiling but not okay, I want you to know I see you. Welcome to Unmute Your Mind. This is not a space for perfection. This is a space for honesty. I didn't start this podcast because I had it all together. I started it because I was tired of pretending I did. There was a season in my life where everything felt like it was shifting at once. I was going through a separation, trying to hold myself together, while something I once believed in was unraveling. And at the same time, my oldest son was leaving for school in Arizona. You prepare yourself for that moment. I mean, you tell yourself you're proud, you tell yourself it's part of growth, but nobody talks about the quiet that follows. My house felt different. The energy felt different, and I myself felt different. So when semester was over, he came home for a moment, and for a moment, it felt full again. And 3 months later, he left again. And that second goodbye, it hit differently. It wasn't just about him leaving. It was about everything changing at once. My marriage was shifting because I had filed for divorce. My home was shifting because my son was leaving. My identity was shifting, and I was still showing up. I was still smiling, still being strong. But inside, I was grieving. And I didn't give myself permission to say that out loud. I thought other people have it worse. I thought, just be grateful. I even thought, you're strong. You'll be fine. But strength doesn't mean you don't feel pain. And I can say that I was not okay. I was not okay. And the dangerous part, I kept acting like I was. So I remember realizing that I had gotten so used to holding things in that I didn't even know how to speak honestly anymore. I would say I'm fine automatically. Even when I wasn't, I would laugh, post, show up, and then sit in the quiet and feel everything hit at once. I realized something dangerous. The more I held in, the heavier it got. And the heavier it got, the more I started to feel disconnected from me, from myself. I wasn't protecting my peace. I was burying my pain. Unmute Your Mind was born from that realization that we are walking around smiling while silently carrying heartbreak, anxiety, pressure, guilt, exhaustion. And we're doing it alone because somewhere along the way, we were taught that speaking up makes us weak. But what if it's the opposite? What if unmuting is strength? What if honesty is healing? What if being vulnerable is power? This podcast is not about fixing people. It's about creating space. Space to say, I'm tired. Space to say, I'm overwhelmed. Space to say, I'm not okay. Without any shame, without any judgment. I don't want polished conversations. I want real ones. I have been strong for so long that I forgot I was allowed to be soft. I have held things in because I didn't want to burden anyone. I have smiled when I was breaking, and I know I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one. So before we end, I want to leave you with something to sit with. And at the end of every podcast, I will have a tonight's unmute prompt. And tonight's unmute prompt is this. What have I been holding in that is starting to feel heavy? What have I been holding in that's starting to feel heavy? And what would happen if I allowed myself to say it out loud? Write it down. Don't filter it. Don't judge it. Just let it exist. This is Unmute Your Mind. Unmute, speak, live. I'll see you in the next conversation. Peace.